Good morning. Continuing on with Song of Solomon, decided to do chapter 4 and 5 together. I believe this is fitting as the events that are taking place. It's significant, and coming from chapter 3, what just happened was through the book up until now, this scroll, this song up until now, they had she had courted the king, sought after him, they courted each other, and then all of a sudden there was this consummation of relationship. And so chapter 4, there's a relationship, a deep relationship, what I would consider like a marriage type relationship. But they didn't stop there, and this is one of the whole points, is that I don't ever want to be somebody who stops at relationship. If I got married to my wife and then we consummated the marriage and we're married for a few weeks, and then it was just like, all right, we did it, we're there, let me go make a book about being married and the whole process of it, I would be missing the rest of my life, right? This is the same. So now we get into the relation, the same courting is there, except this, now it's called love. Now it's love. Now it's a building of relationship and a union of maturing together. That's what's going on now. And so you see the King Solomon talking so amazing, sweetly, the words, the life, the washing of the water by the word that he's saying to the Shulamite, and all the things that he sees in her, and building her up. And there's a whole lot of depth in this chapter, with the myrrh, the frankincense, the getting away. But coming towards the end of the chapter, because in the chapter he mentions that my beloved is a garden shut up, a garden barred. So like a garden enclosed. What he's saying is, this ain't anybody's garden anymore. This is my garden. It's enclosed. He's saying after she's being faithful to the consummation that happened, and now she's a garden enclosed, and I can enjoy her. She's beautiful, she's all these things, but she's mine. Like I can enjoy, and this is the maturity of what he expects us to go to as we let go of the world and engage with him, with Jesus, that we understand that we are able to shut down other interests and things that try to come in. We already learned how to take the foxes, right? But now we understand this greater, how to put up that wall around the garden of our hearts and protect the knowledge of God that we carry. So at the end of the chapter, she speaks after he's saying all that, and she says, come on, north wind, awake and blow on my garden and carry the scent to my beloved. She's saying, she's calling on the winds to carry she is an enclosed garden, but she wants to attract him to that place. And so she's calling on creation to help carry her scents, to draw him to the garden. And so in chapter 5, he comes to the garden, and there's an interesting statement there where he says, eat, O friends, drink deeply, beloved. And I believe this is such a deep thing I won't really get into right now, referring to the cloud and the body of witnesses that really, I believe there's fascination in heaven with this relationship between God and man. I believe that it draws, and it's a pleasure and a joy that heaven enjoys, seeing this relationship unfold between God and man. But he comes to visit her, and he comes in the night. He comes in the mystery. So you remember the last time in chapter 3, she took him home. She found him. She couldn't sleep. She was so hungry and desirous that she came out and found him. And then she found him and brought him home. This time he comes to see her. And he's looking through the lattice. He's there. She's in bed, and she's like, well, I've already gotten ready for bed. I can't get up. I'm clean, my hands, my feet, my body. But desire, again, for her to be with him, got her out of bed to go answer the door, because he was knocking on the door. And so as she got up to go knock on the door, her hands started dripping with myrrh, which is an amazing, there's a lot of symbolism with it, being anciently used as a medicine, as for embodying dead people, for spices and aromas. Pretty amazing. But her hands drip with that as she goes to answer the door. And she goes, because he knocks, she knows he's there. She goes and answers the door, and then he's gone. And so she's like, oh no, I can't have this. So she went out looking for him. And I believe this is the whole point of this book, that this is another, she knows him, but through the courting, now the courting and relationship has gone to a different level. And at this point in the relationship, in order to get to the maturity, he takes off. He comes and approaches her and hunts after her. But when the desire is at the right level, he takes off, and she must answer that desire and come after him. And so she does. She leaves. She goes out of the house. Remember how comfortable she was in bed, but yet the will of God is that our desire and hunger for him draw us out. In our beginning stages of life, our desire draws him in. As we mature in him, his desire begins to draw us out. And that's what he did. He turned away and ran. He's playing chase with her, and he's saying, come and get me. So she takes off. She goes out to get him in the middle of the night. She sees the watchman again. Remember, she saw the watchman before, and when she saw the watchman before, it says scarcely she passed by him. The last time she found him. Last time she saw the watchman, she found him right afterwards. This time she sees the watchman. It says, what does it say? It says the watchman struck her. So now we have a different situation. And I believe this is what maturity does. She's out doing the right thing. She got out of her comfortable place in desire and went after the king in relationship. And it's his will for her to go after him. And in doing that, in all she gave, and in desire and in the chase for him, it caused her to get persecuted. Oh, bugs. It's amazing, right? And this is maturity, because Jesus knows greater than we do. And this is what we have to understand in this. He knows greater. He's teaching us something. There's something in our destiny and our scroll that we have to walk through and come to grips with. And this is part of it. Part of it, it becomes our pursuit after him through great desire. And once we have that great desire, now we're walking through persecution. And after, she still can't find him. And she says, she's like, hey, she's still looking for him. And what's amazing is she's saying, I'm lovesick. Help me find him. If you see him, this is what he looks like. Blah, blah, blah. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's King. He's God. He's Lord. Jesus is amazing. She's still looking for him. She's walking through this thing, even through persecution, because desire has transported her now past the emotional side of things and the feeling of things. And she maintains that first love and desire as she comes after him. What an amazing approach in our relationship with God and with Jesus. And what you see at the end of this is the other daughters of Jerusalem now are noticing, and they start getting curious about him. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Look at this. Look what she's done. This girl, what is it about him that drives this person to push through even through persecution, through being struck? She's probably bruised because she's been hit and struck, but she's so desirous and lovesick that you can't even see it. And they start noticing. They're like, who is this guy? Who is this? And I think that's one of the glories that sits on us as we continue at this point in maturity with Jesus, is that the world and people start noticing, and they start wanting him. And that's the desire of God, is that everybody understands how amazing he is, and it's actually starting to be seen through her life. We'll stop there for now. That's chapter 4 and 5. God bless you. Shalom.